Welcome back to Regretful Impulse Buys with your automotive masochist host, Eric. I'm probably not going to do that intro again, but you guys all know it's true. This is a 1989 Pontiac Trans Am GTA, and I bought this car at the Salvage auction where I buy a lot of cars every single year. That's the business I run. I run an automotive dismantler. At the same place where I buy product to dismantle, I occasionally run across cars that I feel like it's my duty to put back on the road, or at least put into somebody else's hands and not dismantle. And this Trans Am was one of those cars that I bid on, and I was sure someone else would outbid me, and it didn't happen. I got it cheap, but I signed up for a huge project. So I've already done a video on this car. If you haven't caught it, you can find it in the description of this video. But I got it running enough to drive itself onto the trailer with no brake calipers. That was slightly less than fun. And now it is at home in the garage where I can work on it at my leisure, whatever that means. And today we are going to try to get it to run better than it currently does, because as you can tell, it is not firing on all 8 cylinders. This has the 5.7 liter tune port injection V8, and it doesn't run that great, but it has also been off the road for probably 16 or 17 years. So, you know, if I slept that long, I wouldn't be in great shape either. So if you ignore all of the paint issues, which there's hardly any paint left on this car, and you ignore the fact that there's relatively no interior in it, nothing that nice, this car isn't really that bad. It doesn't have a ton of rust. It's pretty straight. The only part of the car that looks like it's been repainted is the right door. The rest of the car looks really straight and nice and untouched. And I know many of you expressed your displeasure in the amount of time this was going to require to bring back into something nice, saying that there are better examples out there to work on, and I totally agree with you. There's a lot of really nice examples of these cars out there, and they're not very much money, but that doesn't really mean that this car deserves to be dismantled or crushed or thrown in the crusher like a lot of other, and I'm going to use the term junkyards, like to do with cars for rage bait. I'm not going to do that. I'm not built that way. I like to preserve 80s and 90s cars for future generations because they don't make them anymore. I know that it's not the best car on the planet. I know it's not fast. I know it's not a great handling car. I know it's not going to be a future collector car that someone's going to be able to bank their entire retirement on, but I still think this one needs a second chance. There are a few things I'd like to achieve in this video. The first is, what is the engine? I know that sounds weird to say. We know it's a tune port 350. At least I assume it's a 350. That's what the car was supposed to have. However, it has SLP long tubes, and it doesn't have a ton of other signs. This thing's been heavily modified. But there is one glaring red flag about this engine, and it's literally red. The entire engine is red. That is the red flag. Someone has given it the Krylon rebuild, or maybe it's been gone through. I don't have any idea, but we're going to peel a valve cover. We're going to look at the head casting number. We're going to see if we can see casting numbers on the block. I've got some mirrors and lights and stuff. We're going to see if we can kind of decipher what is in this car, so we at least have an idea of what it looks like. Plus, by pulling the valve cover, I can take a look at the valve train and see what kind of condition it's in. Aside from that, the very next thing to do is going to be to throw a whole bunch of parts, load the parts cannon at it. And it's maintenance, okay. We're going to put plugs, wires, cap, rotor, genuine AC Delco parts. I bought the best for this old turd. So we're going to see if we can get it to run on all 8 cylinders. If the ignition system is not what is the glaring problem with it, and there's no law that says there can only be one thing wrong with it, we're going to tackle the only thing left in the fuel system, the injectors, which I have a set of injectors that have been sonic cleaned and tested to go in it. And hopefully we can get this thing to run on all 8 cylinders. That is the overall goal, is to get this engine to idle great, to start easy, and to run right. Because why would you need to stop a car if you can barely drive it? Still need to do brakes. All right, let's see if we can get this driver's side valve cover off first. Kind of like how simple some of the stuff is on these old engines. Especially after you work on some modern stuff, this stuff is very appealing. I think you guys have already understood now that I'm not going to LS swap this thing. I have enough big projects. This is already big enough. I put you over there for a reason. Can we get this off without pulling the alternator out of the way? Yeah, I think the alternator is gonna have to move. All right, let's do it the right way. We're gonna loosen this one. We're gonna take this one out. Maybe. Nope, let's get a different socket. This bolt is kind of boogered up. All right, I think we should be able to move this. Look at that. I bet it comes off now. Why did I say anything? Why did I say stuff? Why do I do this? It'll come off, right? Yeah. Oh, it's clean in there. All right, so the inside of this thing looks pretty good. I got some debris to clean up. I ran the casting number, which is 141010083. And those appear to be stock heads, which I didn't think this thing was heavily modified. I just didn't get that feeling. It has a K&N drop-in filter and some SLP long tubes, which is cool. Glad they're there, but I don't think this is somebody's hot rod project that makes a ton of power. But I know it's been out because the head bolts are painted. The block is red. Someone's been through this thing. It probably has the plugs are probably fine in it, but we're still going to replace them. I did try with my mirror and flashlight to get casting numbers or any other numbers off the block. I know where they're at, but there's just too much stuff in this engine bay. It's not like an old carbureted engine. So I'm going to go to work a little bit later or maybe tomorrow and get my borescope and see if we have a chance at it. But we may not be able to see stuff without taking too much apart, and I don't really want to take anything apart I don't need to. So we're going to go ahead and get this all cleaned up, get all the rat poop out of the intake manifold area, and get this valve cover back in, get the belt back on, alternator back on, and then we're going to do the ignition, because that's what's next. I have painstakingly removed all of the mouse house, all the stuff that I could from the intake, the stuff that fell onto or into the valve train. It's all clean. I also knocked off all the loose stuff on the valve cover so that I don't knock anything else in here when I go back on. And we're going to go ahead and go back on. Please. And make sure our gasket doesn't pop out down here at the bottom. I think we're all right. These don't have to be crazy tight. All right, now we can put the alternator back in its home. It says Ultima on the alternator. All right, now I think we just got to get the belt back on it. Ooh, that's a bad angle. No problems. Is this belt in good shape? Not really. Am I going to run it? Yep. All right, we're looking at the casting number. It is 140936. It looks like 38. And when I look it up, it looks like that's a stock 87 to 95 350 casting. So I think this might be the original engine, or at least it's the correct engine. It may not be the original, but I don't want to take the compressor off or any of the other stuff off to find out that. But at least we know it is a 350. This car needs a lot of work, which for you guys means lots of videos. But not every single video will be posted to this channel. Just like not every single thing I do to my other cars is something that I make a huge production about. A lot of these are just quick fixes. However, my wife has decided that everything I do to cars, or most of the things, need to be filmed, and she started her own channel, The Car Wife Life, where you can find some other videos on some of the other repairs I've made on my personal cars, the stuff I've drug home. There's even a video on this thing, getting it off the trailer and getting it in the garage. And there'll be videos posted probably at the same rate I post videos on this channel. So if you want to see more behind the scenes I Do Cars content, check out her channel, The Car Wife Life. All right, see if we can get the first plug wire off here. Easy peasy. All right, first spark plug. So here's spark plug out of the first hole there, and it smells like terrible fuel. It actually doesn't look like a bad plug. It's the right plug, I think. But we're still going to replace them. We're going to get all new plugs. All right, let's get to the second plug. I don't know if it's easier to do plugs with headers or harder. What do you guys think? I'm sure it depends on the car and the headers. This one's going to be a lot of fun because of the way it is. It's right in front of the primary there. Well, I'm not proud with how I was able to get this plug loose. But it worked, and that's all that matters. So I made this. I'll show you that in a second. I made a tool to do this. I got to get to this from a different angle. I think the headers make this a little bit more challenging. Oh, we're getting there. This is only the second plug I tried. No idea how I'm going to get the others out. Okay. 6 more. All right, let's see if we can get this one loose. Oh, yeah. Definitely should have used a 12 point for the tool I made. Come on now, we're almost at the end. I can feel it. Yes. Well, that plug was a lot easier. Furthest one back looks like I can get to it in a significantly more traditional method. Oh, so much easier. Okay, there's one bank done. To the passenger side or right side. This one isn't going to be too bad, I don't think. It looks bad, but it's not bad. Come on now. All right. Let's see what we can do here. This is not so great. Extensions on there, sockets on there. But there's, oh, okay. There's another plug. All right, we're doing some stuff. Watch out now. Okay, what gives? Well, that was, I guess that's the intake for it. There's that. There's that. Oh my gosh, so much more room. That's off. I am not sure if that's going to go back on or not. That might just get deleted. Sorry, Mr. EPA man. Oh my gosh, there's so much more room in here. All right, I just gotta get the plug wires off. There's a big old bracket here. Goes between exhaust manifold and the act compressor. Okay, plug wires off. Oh man, there's a bunch of junk around that plug. This side has a bunch of mouse house I gotta vacuum out too. Hoping there's no chewed wires that I find. I haven't seen anything yet. 90s dealer techs, I really feel for you. Working around all this clumsy emission stuff. It's not terrible. I mean, it's just a different type of problem than the modern stuff. But it's all workable. But there's all the junk in the intake. Gotta get all that out. That plug didn't look too bad. Well, the rear two plugs on this side look like they're going to be the worst of the lot. Certainly not impossible. They never are. I'm just hoping I don't have to pull ahead to get the spark plug out. Joking. I'm joking! There's not a ton of room for your fingers. I feel like some of you would probably suggest going from the bottom, but I don't really feel like that's a good option just yet. First step is to get the plug. Oh, there's one spark plug wire. All right. Plug wires are removed. I just got to pull two spark plugs out. How bad could it be? Don't answer that question at all. I think I'm going to go for the rearmostest. That's going to be, always save the hardest one for last. That's my way. It's not the right way, but it's my way. Oh, I got a tool for this. So I got the plugs out. I would be completely lying to you if I said they were much harder than I expected. Now I know these are kind of not fun to work on. It took roughly about an hour to get all of these out. And most of that time was spent trying to figure out this thing. So I took this amazing wrench, no idea where it came from, and this extra spark plug socket, no idea where that came from. And I made it a spark plug wrench. So this all worked out pretty good. The plugs don't look terrible. They're all even. They do smell like bad gas. So I'm going to go ahead and fire some new spark plugs in there. I've got, nothing but the best. Some brand new AC Delcos. I'm not going to film putting every plug in because it's going to be a really long, boring video if I do that. So I'll come back once the plugs are in. We'll start putting the plugs and wires. We'll pull the cap and rotor off, take a look. Well, the plugs are in. It was way easier going in than getting them out. I think probably because I knew exactly what tools to use for each plug. Hardest one by a landslide is the rear plug on this side. It ain't great. It's not impossible, obviously. It'd probably be a lot easier if I were to get to it from the bottom, but that would require me jacking the car up. So I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to deal with that just yet. So I did it from the top. Don't recommend it. If you have a lift, definitely use it to your advantage. But they're in, they're snug, they're gapped, and now it's time. We're going to pull the cap off and see what the cap and rotor look like. All right, we'll pull the coil wire off first. And we're just going to leave all these attached and pull the unit out as one, if we can. It's kind of a big if. Really curious to see how corroded all this is. If it's corroded, it may not be corroded. It may be just fine. There's the coil wire. Leave that one there. All right. Oh, bad. So it ain't looking so hot in there. There's a bunch of corrosion on the ignition module. We're going to have to clean that up. The rotor button, it's got corrosion on it. All the contacts have a little bit of corrosion. I've seen worse. It just doesn't look great. I reckon this will run a lot better with some fresh ignition parts. Let's get the rest of this out all the way. We'll go ahead and pop that rotor off of there. All right, let's take a look. So this is the brand new cap. Here is the one that came from it. And if you look how worn that little nub is. That one's nice and round. So that should make an improvement. Plus, there's a little bit of buildup on all those points. They're kind of corroded. But unfortunately, here's the new rotor and the old rotor. And the new rotor came with some, came pre-corroded. I can't win. I don't understand. I don't get it. But we'll clean that up. This one doesn't look too terrible, but the end of it doesn't look that great either. This is a Delco Remy, so this could be the original cap and rotor off this. That would be absolutely wild. Do you think they last 140 some odd thousand miles? I don't really know what maintenance intervals for tune-up parts on these things were, but I think it's before that. So now I'm going to get this cleaned up. We're going to get that reinstalled. We're going to get all the plug wires loaded up on this thing, and we'll hopefully be able to reassemble this thing shortly. We got the new rotor installed. I got as much of the corrosion out of there as I could. Blew it all out with the air nozzle, and I got all the plug wires installed on the cap, but some of them have angled ends and some of them don't, and I don't know how that's going to work with the aftermarket headers. So we're gonna find out. Maybe a problem. I should probably put some light on the situation so I can see what I'm doing, and then I can see that I don't have it installed right. So this is going to be the funnest part. It's routing these things. So let's see, there's 1, 8, 4, 3. This is number 3. Pull that one through. No click. There we go, there's click. 5. This should be 5 right here. It's a straight boot. We'll see how this pans out for me. Will this work?
No.
The boot is up against the exhaust man, the header, I should say. I can't even get it to click in. All right, well, that's not happy about this at all. They probably had different plug wires for cars with headers or something like that, and I didn't even think about it. Oh, I got it to click. So that's less than ideal, and it's going to 100% melt the plug wire. 100%. Let's just get them all in, and then maybe I'll replace some of the new ones with old ones if they have an angled boot. I hate to do that, but I don't really have a choice. Now we got cylinder 2. Should be this dude right here. That's an angled boot. And maybe it's one where I can switch some of these around a little bit. We'll see. I'm going to get them in place, and we'll go from there. See, like this one I could put a straight boot on. Definitely put a straight boot on, but I don't know if I got enough length. I may not have enough length. All right, so here is 4. And I'm going to have to probably reroute these again, but I want to kind of get it together so that I can figure out what goes to what. It'll be a lot easier to do then. Well, here we're going to get in the straight boot territory. All right, so here's 6 right here. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know that it's going to work. 100% not going to work. not even on the same, not even close. So then all we've got is 8. 8 is an angled boot. 8 will work. All right, we'll get 8 on there, and then we'll try to figure out if we can move some plug wires around for the desired location. All right, well, we are back together-ish. I still haven't put all the secondary air stuff back, which I've decided I'm going to put it back for now because it's the fastest way to get it back together. But I had to reuse 3 of the plug wires. Not very keen on that. I should have bought plug wires for a TBI 350 because it would have come with 90-degree ends and not the straight ends. I got 3 plug wires with these ends, and I had to reuse 3 of the old plug wires. So I'm going to order some of the incorrect or correct spark plug wires, and we'll see if I decide to put them in at a later date. We'll see how it runs, but now it has new plugs, it has new wires, and most importantly, a much nicer cap and rotor. All right, let's go back together. Start this. The AC compressor support bracket. Now this thing, a lot of you guys are cringing right now. It's fine, someone else can take it off, or I can take it off later. Torque to spec. Okay, so we have some stuff. I don't really remember the order in which stuff went on there. I don't know if it matters. I think this goes down here off of this. And I think this one goes here. This one goes in your mouth. This one goes in your ear. This one goes in your butt. Wait. And we've got a vacuum line. Runs to this. That was disconnected. I'm sure that made it run slightly not so good. All right, we are making some progress going back together. Ooh, I found another vacuum leak. So I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be open. I'm going to do the right thing and find a screw for it. Is it really wrong if it works? All right, the next thing I want to do, I'm going to get all this junk off the math. All right, so I've devised a plan to clean this without having to remove it. Like a new one. So that may have made no difference at all, but I'm not really big on mass airflow sensor cleaners like that. I just cleaning it out. That'll certainly help. So let's just slide that dude back on there. Well, I think we're ready to connect the battery and see if it runs. Hey, Griffin. Well, in its day, maybe. I got an audience for this first startup. I mean, it's probably going to run bad because I haven't done the injectors yet, but we're going to open the garage door. Hey, pull your pants up. Thank you. All right. Daddy's got to connect the battery. Are you scared, Bell? Oh, you are just excited, kiddo.
Yeah, his pants are
Hey. All right. You guys ready? Is it going to be loud?
Yeah.
All right. It's not going to go fast. It's not going anywhere today. It's just going to start up. Oh, we got to mess with the column. Here we go. Well, that wasn't very inspiring. Somehow it runs worse than it did. I don't think the plug wires are on right. I don't know how I messed it up, but I think I did. Ooh, it smells like fuel. They're definitely on in the wrong order. All right, back to the drawing boards. We're gonna try this again. I got 2 plug wires that were backwards. It's either gonna work great or not at all. The column is very unhappy. Needs a little WD-40. Oh, it's better. It's not popping on the intake. I don't think it's running on all of them though. It's the best it's run though. And it fired up faster. I don't know what's not firing here. I didn't like that. Oh, that one doesn't like it. Alright, I found the problem, or a problem. Right there. Alright, I got one injector disconnected. Alright, let's noid this thing. To find the right one here. 4 noid lights. Look at that. We got no pulse. But why not? So now we have a different kind of problem on our hands. Let's try a different noid light just for the sake of being different. Nothing. Nothing. Uh-oh. No noid right there either. Alright, this might be hard to hear, but I'm gonna do my best. I have a noid light plugged into this side, and as you can probably faintly tell, it is faintly lit up. Let's pull that out, set that aside. We're gonna plug this one back in, and immediately runs better. Now, it's running about as good as it did when I got it started the last time. Look at this. That's disconnected, that's disconnected, that's disconnected, that's disconnected. So none of these do the blink, okay? I've literally checked every single one of these. They're blinkless. First thing I did is blow the dust off the sum data machine, pulled up a wiring diagram, and I can see that in injector fuse 1 does 1, 3, 5, and 7. Injector fuse 2 does 2, 4, 6, and 8. We don't have any pulsation on any of these, but we do have them on this. So let's go check the fuse box, which I've already looked up on Google because I'm not that familiar with these cars. And the fuse box is on the driver's side under the dash. There is injector fuse 1, and the open hole that there is not a fuse is injector fuse 2. Why? Why would you need a 10 amp to make your car run on half the cylinders to do what else? So the only thing I can think of is when this thing was parked and not running, they borrowed a fuse from it, and that just happened to be the one that they pulled. So let's insert a fuse and see if it makes a difference, which I'm going to put some money on this one. Maybe not any money, but I'm hopeful. Also worth mentioning, I think Mickey Mouse worked on this thing. Look at this ridiculous wiring. This is the worst part about 80s and 90s cars is the grade of install wasn't quite what it is today. Here's the moment. I should probably do this while it's running, but I don't want to do that. Okay, fuse is installed. Let's reconnect the battery, open the garage door, and see if it runs any better. All right, moment of truth. I got my injectors plugged back in. Come on, man. You can do it. Here we go. It's worse. I don't understand. It's like running on one cylinder. I really thought this was our moment. All I did was try it one more time. Gave it a little bit of brake clean. Oh, it sounds good. I can definitely hear some exhaust leaking over here. Let me get the light. It stinks to high hell. This is awesome. Yes. My poor neighbors. They'll live. It was 4th of July a couple days ago. Does this have a cam in it? Or is it got a vacuum leak? There's only one way to find out. really? This is ridiculous. I'm gonna give it some RPM. Oh, it loves it. What did I do? It still seems a little unhappy. It's hitting on all 8. All right, well, it's been running for a minute. There's got temperatures in it. Here, this there you are. Got temperature in it. It's hunting for idle a little bit. This is ridiculous. I know the engine's been out, but maybe they put a little cam in it or something. The difference a fuse makes, I'm gonna shut it off, let it sit, cool down a little bit, and start it back up and see if it fires right up. Because the fact that it only wanted to run on 1 cylinder until I gave it some brake clean is a little not wonderful. All right, I'm not mic'd this time. This thing is set for about 20 minutes to see if it will fire up right away. I have my doubts. Here we go. There are people still shooting off fireworks. It is July 7th. And we're going to do a cold start. It's 9:30 at night. Sorry, neighbors. So I'm letting it warm up a little bit. We're gonna change the oil in it since it's been so good to us. It's I think it's due for an oil change after God knows how long. We're gonna change the oil. I'm gonna fix a couple other things on the car. We're gonna dive into some other things in it, like is it tuned? Does it have a chip in it? What do you think? It's a Motes, a Super Chips, an Excel? What do we think? We're gonna pull the ECM out, pull the cover off the Prom, see what it's got. But for now, let's just get the oil changed because it needs it. Let's change that oil. I know you guys are asking why I didn't do this when it was on the lift. Well, I didn't even know if it ran. I didn't know hardly anything about it. I mean, I did. I knew it ran. And I probably should have done it then, if I'm being honest. All right, let's get underneath this thing safely and drain the oil. It would help if I had the right size wrench. It would help a lot. How do we look? Dark, but no sparkles. I didn't think we would find any. The reason I got this thing warm is because it lets the oil come out faster and easier, gets more of it out. So I'm gonna let it drain for a little bit. Then we'll get the filter off, put a filter in it, get her down, fill it up with oil. Okay, and now we'll get the filter out of there. And it looks like it's got a Wix on it. And it's been on there for a moment. Yes. Is it a Wix? It's a Wix. All right, we're gonna let her drain like that. Flip the filter in a second. Ooh, it's warm. Okay, let's get that filter the rest of the way off. Got myself a pig mat to set it on. Ooh, it says NASCAR on the filter. I believe it. Alright, let's get that out of there. And the filter that I'm putting on, it's probably just a temporary filter, but it's a good filter too. It's a Baldwin. I like these filters. It'll do just good. Alright. Let's get her tight. Yeah, that's good enough. Clean it up so nobody can tell we were here. Yes, I'm putting some cheap oil in it. New cheap oil is still better than old whatever was in here. I have no idea what was in here. All I know is I changed an oil, so it's getting fresh oil. And the final quart. All right, well, I think we've treated this engine pretty well so far. Before we dig into the engine controller, I want to replace the hood supports. I can't talk. I bought some new ones. We're going to fix this thing a little bit, you know. They appear to be the correct ones. All right, so we're going to replace the hood shock so we can get rid of the hood prop. That whoever sent this to me, whoever sent this to me, thank you so much. It's awesome. But I'm afraid after we replace this, I won't need it on this car anymore. For the next one, though, all right, we got one done. Let's fight with the other one. Watch out. I should have saw that one coming. All right, look at that. Well, now the hood stays up by itself. This thing's going to be fully restored in no time. Just kidding. Let's pull the ECM out of this thing. Gotta watch out for all this like razor sharp aluminum that's in the interior. I gotta get rid of this stuff before I slice my leg open. I know, what is this? Hand tools? It's kind of crazy, ain't it? I almost forgot how to use these. Okay, here comes the ECM. Well, there's a wire that's been hot. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, it has a Cardone control unit in it. I don't love to see that. These things do fail all the time. I need to find a quarter socket to get this open to see if it has a Prom in it or what Prom is in there. So these have an EPROM and they have a cover, and all you need to do is take the cover off. I haven't done this in probably 10 years on any of these. Moment of truth. It's a factory Prom. What? It's APYU. Normally you'd see something that says like Super Chips or Excel or Motes. Motes was probably one of the better ones. Let me look this one up. The APYU code that's on this is for an 89 F-body TPI 5.7 liter with a 700 R4, 327s, which this has, and federal emissions. So I need a chip for this thing. I need something. If anybody still has any of this stuff laying around, I need something that's a little more cam friendly, because I think that's what the fact that it's a factory Prom is probably why this thing hunts for idle so much. And I'd like to straighten that out. It's really easy to slam a Prom in it. I'm going to leave this hanging down here because I'm hopefully going to find one. I can't find them on eBay anymore because those eggheads made it impossible to buy
performance chips.
What did you say, Griffin?
I want to get in the camera.
You want to get in the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to do a cold start with the whole family here now that it runs on all 8 cylinders. And we're going to see if it scares them. I don't think it will. They're kind of used to this by now. All right, you guys, you ready, Griffin? Come here. Come here. Get in the car. Come on. Come on, Daddy's going to start it.
Yeah.
All right. Careful, don't get yourself hurt on anything. This column is fun. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. What do you think? Griffin, come back here. Come back here. What do you think? Does it sound like a race car? Yeah. It's just cool. It's a cool car. You like it? You want to rev it? All right, no, I'm going to do it. I don't want you to do it. Here comes a Griffin reaction to a rev. You ready? You want to do it again? Yeah. Sounds ridiculous. Hey, can you go in there and rev it? I want to hear it from back here. Just go like this. Foot to the floor for a split second. This will be a good test for her. More. More. No, quick, like all the way down. Rev it up. Alright. That's good. Loud. It is loud. I have to sell this. Otherwise, I'm going to get attached.
Yeah.
Now it looks cool and it sounds cool.
I mean, Ellie will be happy when you sell it, but Griffin will be sad.
Will she really? I think she'll come around. She's going to have to. She doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Let me pan. Griffin, do you want to rev it? Do you want to rev it? All right, so just for a split second, just a little on the gas pedal. Don't blow it up for Daddy. He just got it running. So get closer. You got to get closer. There's no seats in it. All right, do you know which one the gas pedal is? That's the brake. Don't press that. Press that one like this. You want to do it again? He does it better than you do. Do it again. Oh, that's a little much there, kiddo. There were 3 big surprises for me in this video. The biggest one, okay, I shouldn't say that. One of the bigger ones is the fact that the engine was running on 4 cylinders before. On the last video, I didn't really verify anything. I got it running enough to drive it onto my trailer. That was the goal, and that's what we did. It ran terrible. I didn't expect it to have been running on 4 cylinders. It turns out that had the problem as to why it was running on 4 cylinders been reversed and the passenger bank fired and the driver's not, due to the firing order to this engine, it may not have run at all. There's not a lot of engines out there that'll run as well as this did on half of the cylinders. That was kind of a shock. The second surprise was what was actually wrong with it. The reason it ran on 4 cylinders was not really in my deck of cards for why an engine won't run right. A missing fuse, usually not the culprit. I'm not intimately familiar with these cars, but I know how to work on cars a little bit, and I immediately pulled out the noid light once I realized, and as I unplugged that entire bank worth of injectors, and I saw it had no pulse, because the likelihood of 4 injectors having the same problem and all of the driver's side not having the same problem is pretty low. So the noid light told me it wasn't getting pulse, pulled up the wiring diagram, saw that that was a fuse circuit, and then I checked the fuse box for surprise number 2. A missing fuse. That's all it was, a 10 amp fuse. If I had looked at that a little harder in the last video, it would have been a different video. The third surprise is the biggest surprise of them all, and that was once I installed that fuse, how the engine ran. I did not expect this to have a cam, especially once I pulled the valve cover off and we saw that it had stamped steel rocker arms and it had stock valve springs, stock looking valve springs. It didn't give me any signs that this thing had an aftermarket camshaft in it, but it clearly does. Now, what it has in it, I will never know, because I'm not going to pull this apart to find out, and you have to pull it apart to find out. All I know is this car got a whole lot cooler. A whole lot cooler. Now, does that mean I'm going to keep it? I hope not. But it does kind of give me some motivation to get started on that white Corvette that I stopped working on 2+ years ago. Don't remind me of all my projects, please. So, now I really want to drive this thing, and I can't do that because it has no brakes. I don't trust the steering, the suspension, so that's going to be the next video. I don't know when that video is going to come out, but hopefully in the same period of time it took between this video and the last, I can have a video at least fixing some of the things with this car. And I think my overall goal at this point is to be able to drive this thing without dying. I have a thing about that. And right now I can't even load the engine because there are no brake calipers. There's not even a parking brake. So that's the next video. I really hope you enjoyed the update on this car. I'm not going to LS swap it. Lots of comments for LS swaps. Not going to happen. I have enough projects, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I love all the comments, all the feedback, and even the criticism. I love it all. And I'll catch you on the next one.